Good morning, Stefan. It's a story that has everybody talking. The Prime Minister's office is denying accusations that Justin Trudeau took a vacation on Canada's first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Now, Trudeau's itinerary initially showed that he would be in private meetings in Ottawa yesterday, but then it got changed to this, that he was in private meetings in Tofino, BC, and later spotted on the beach. Now, his office confirmed he was on the West Coast for a few days, spending time with family. The Prime Minister's office saying that this follows his participation in Wednesday night's ceremony in Ottawa and spending time on the phone yesterday with residential school survivors from across the country. His office denying that Trudeau used the day as a holiday. We're going to continue to follow this story here through the morning. Now, the Blue Jays honoring Canada's first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation at last night's game, including new artwork installed at Rogers Centre. Here's City News reporter Lindsay Dunn.
Emotions were high tonight in the Rogers Centre for a number of reasons. It was the most important game in the Blue Jays season so far, but today was bigger than baseball. The Blue Jays taking a number of steps to help amplify Indigenous voices in the community.
Nindinawe Magani Duck means all my relations, and what we're really saying is that we are all related.
Philip Cote wrote the land acknowledgement and designed the artwork that is displayed at one of the busiest gate entrances to the Rogers Centre that was installed this week.
The painting is about the Turtle Island and all the clan animals that were part of our culture. Even though it's on one pillar, well, you know, that's the beginning of how big things get started. The less Indigenous people know that they're being thought of.
When the national anthems were performed, they were performed at the Rogers Centre for the first time in English, French, and Anishinaabe-Moan. Oh, Canada,
please welcome Marjorie Kekiji Lee.
The first pitch was thrown out by a survivor of the residential school system, which was then followed by a moment of silence for the victims and survivors of the residential school system. And on the mound, an orange shirt painted to acknowledge that every child matters. For City News, I'm Lindsay Dunn.
All right, and when it came to the game itself, we're going to break that down for you with Sid in a few moments. To other news now, a ruling is expected today on whether Premier Doug Ford's decision to slash the size of Toronto City Council nearly in half, whether or not it was constitutional. The Supreme Court of Canada is set to make that decision today. Ford reduced the number of council seats from 47 to 25. This was back in 2018 during the municipal campaign. The city then challenged the legislation in Superior Court, the judge deeming it unconstitutional, but the decision overruled. The Supreme Court of Canada agreed to hear the city's challenge back in March. Now, Ford argued the move would streamline council operations and save around $25 million. So we're going to get that ruling a little bit later on this morning. Toronto Public Health warning of possible COVID-19 exposures at 2 polling stations last week as health officials also deal with an outbreak at a jail in Scarborough. Our Faiza Amin joining us now from the Metro Toronto Convention Centre with the latest in the strategy to fight COVID-19. You're following everything here with Toronto Public Health. Good morning, Faiza.
Good morning, Mal. That's right. So this is the city's latest effort to encourage more Torontonians to get out there and get the COVID-19 shots. I'm right outside the convention center here, just one of 35 different sites on Saturday as part of Vax 25, right across the city, offering first and second doses. So make sure you go online and book those appointments. Okay, but I do want to talk a little bit about Toronto Public Health and the notice of potential exposures at 2 polling stations in the city. We just wrapped up the election recently, but this news is just coming in. One is Preston Heights Elementary School on St. Clair East on September 20th. The other is Kingston Road United Church on September 11 and 12. So anyone who attended these polling stations on those days is being asked to self-monitor for symptoms and get tested if they develop any symptoms. Okay, reports of a COVID-19 outbreak has been declared at a Scarborough jail. 34 inmates tested positive at the Toronto East Detention Centre. So that is a story that we're watching closely. I want to talk a little bit more about the city's latest efforts to get more Torontonians vaccinated this weekend. A list of those vaccine clinics is posted on the city's website, toronto.ca. Pay close attention to the times of operations and also whether or not you need to book an appointment there so that you have all those details before going. So this is the city's latest effort to make the vaccine more accessible to different folks in our city. Mel.
All right, that's our Faiza Amin reporting live. Thank you for that. The Ontario Optometrists Association saying the province started delivering payments to optometrists even though they haven't agreed on a new compensation deal. So the group says Ontario Health Minister Christine Elliott made an announcement about a one-time $39 million payment to optometrists without telling them, and while negotiations were virtually at a standstill. The association says optometrists don't want the retroactive payments from the government until a fair deal is reached. As of September the 1st, optometrists in the province have canceled OHIP-covered eye exams in protest of the province underfunding them for years. More to come on this story. Right now, it is 6:10. Coming up next, Netflix stocks booming this morning, but it's not because of a new show or a movie. What's behind it? Mike Eppel with that answer straight ahead.